That's fine. So I'm live streaming. Okay, everyone will, cameras up and running. Welcome. Okay, I looked at what I wanted to talk about today is our group projects and make it clear that I can start signing off on some of these group projects. Let me emphasize here that I'd like your group project be a project that you can actually do, that everyone in your group can learn from, and it's not a pie in the sky project. And I'll go over I'll give you some feedback, and if we have time, maybe we'll even break down into breakout rooms that you guys can refine it. On Monday, I want the final submission before the class that I can review and that we can proceed on to our project. Okay, so let me share my screen and let me show you a couple of the things that it will be important for you to do and make changes to your Zoom. So let me start. Everybody's here. Do we have someone? Okay. Okay. So Dylan, do you want to just check on the chat then?
Yeah, I got it.
Just check if there's some things that we need to do. And after I show you some things, then I'll be happy to answer some questions and direct you in the right direction, that this project will be useful to all of us, that we all can learn from each other based on our projects, and especially each one of you can go back and have skills yourself. So let me share my screen. Now, let me close this. Let's see if I can find here it is. I know YouTube was working fine, perfect. And this is our section. I know that I'm going into, if you see here, I have my Zoom meetings. Now, once I have my Zoom meetings, everybody's here. You know that we all, as the university account for Zoom that has the professional account, we go to zoom.miami.edu. Does everyone see that? Lizzie, do you know that? Yes. Under Zoom meetings, if you look at it and you look at recordings, and everybody go to your own the zoom.miami.edu. And if you go to recordings, you know, you can see recordings that you made. And if I go to any of my recordings, for instance, this was, I guess this is processing the recording right now, because I'm recording from today, October 25th. If I go to the other one below, you see I'm going to my recordings. It's a little bit different from, looking at it in Blackboard. Remember, when we go to Blackboard, Blackboard has an API that attaches Blackboard to Zoom. What I'm doing is I'm going directly to the university Zoom copy they have. This is my section. And notice if I go to the recordings, this was a recording that I have. And instead, notice when I click on it, program, right? It could do it. I have my recording, but what's new here, Colin? Before, if I go to my Blackboard and go to Zoom meetings, and if you look at cloud recordings, these are the cloud recordings, and when I click here, I get 4 files. This is via Blackboard to Zoom, and notice I have download one recording, and then I have audio. But in my Zoom, and let me go back to here. Under my Zoom cloud recordings, this is in the process. You see this, Colin? This is my processing recordings here. And do you see here? This is at 5 o'clock. And this one looks like it was on October 23rd. You see this, Andrew? This looks like our Monday class. And if I click on our Monday class, notice I get, instead of all those recording, it comes up with 5. The recording includes the files listed below. And then if I click on the recording, that little icon, what else? I'm just got this. You can see this is the recording that we had in the class, right? If I go to it, we had the recording in the class. If you look at it, right? We have the recordings that I did. But what is different here? What looks like it's different here? Andrew, it gives, do you see that? It gives a summary of what happened in the class. And it gives a next steps for the students of what they were supposed to do. So if I look at this, do you see students should attend, explore, and then it gives me an edit button right here that I can edit. So right here, Zoom incorporated AI now. Zoom incorporated some AI that once a recording's done, it will come up with a summary. It tries to come up with smart chapters, tries to summarize what we did in the class and gives the next steps to what it's done. It's not completely accurate, but see, explore and experiment with different generated AI tools such as Dolly. You see how it missed it, it's not the correct spelling. So I could even then, in this case, just change it. So I could edit and save. I could give it to someone else and edit and save, explore the benefits. And notice here it's powered by Revenue Accelerator. Zoom created another product called Revenue Accelerator that it's trying to add additional features to its Zoom product. So what did I tell everybody to do was to go to zoom.miami.edu, right? zoom.miami.edu. And if you go to recordings, you'll see your meetings. And then if you go to settings, let me just see in terms of the, you see here where it has my recordings. It has the cloud recording, and then under settings, do you see this, Dylan? What is new? It has general meeting, and what does this say?
AI companion.
AI companion. Do you have it in yours? When you say zoom.miami.edu and you go to your settings, do you have that?
Yep.
Does everybody have that? Now click on AI companion Everybody click on AI Companion. And what's interesting for meeting, they have a meeting summary with AI Companion that allows the host to generate a meeting summary using AI technology, which may include third-party models. Summary will be automatically sent after the meeting has ended. Zoom does not use any audio, video, chat, screen sharing attachments, computer content to train Zoom or third-party AI models. Why do you think they put that? Dylan? Why did you think
What?
they made that caveat of Zoom does not use, you see here? Zoom does, why do you think they put that caveat? Zoom does not use any audio, video, chat, screen sharing, attachments, or other communication like content such as poll results, whiteboard to train Zoom or third-party AI models.
Is that so they're ensuring that they're not tracking like individuals?
Yes, that companies don't say, hey, you're taking we have a Zoom meeting, right? It could be personal, it could be about our finances, right? It could be about our product exam. We don't want to take it out. We don't want Zoom to train based on our data. And notice automatically the meeting summaries, that meeting summary of those third party, you will get the summary immediately. And what does it say to the right here, Dylan?
Locked by admin.
Am I the admin? No. Are you the admin? No. Do you have locked by admin?
Yeah, mine's locked too.
So the university says this is too much. They don't want meetings automatically to go out to others because they don't know who was in that meeting. We may have invited other people in the meeting. So they're afraid too, the university, these summaries will go out. They want intentionally somebody to do this, not that the AI does it. And the other one is AI Companion, allow hosts and participants to ask questions to the AI Companion during meeting. So in your particular one, when you do your project, I want you to do this because we're experimenting, right? And we're making an intention to ask for that AI Companion during the meeting. So this is interesting that we have it. But under yours, Dylan, do you have smart recording with AI Companion?
Yes.
Is it clicked on?
No, but I just turned it on.
Okay, I want everyone then in the class in the recording to turn this on because this even came after we started the class. You remember when we did the Zoom assignments, Andrew? When we started the Zoom assignment, this wasn't even available to us. Now it's available. So I want to do what? Be able to use it and see where it's good and see where the problems are. And it's almost like our co-pilot. So everyone in the class, I'd like you to go to zoom.miami.edu, go to settings, go to AI Companion, right up here, and mark smart recording with AI Companion with all of those. Create recording highlights. When this option is selected, meeting details in the audio transcript will be highlighted. Hosts can modify highlight section and generate a video summary. The summary is for information. And then create smart chapters. Hosts can edit the chapters. Create next steps, can do that. So when you do your final presentations, or you can even do your Zoom recordings as you go along, you will have smart recordings. Isn't that great? And then you can edit and you can see what that does. The smart summary get really the smart things. And it probably is not perfect, but it's a start. Questions? So did you see that, Nicolette? Did you change it?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so you can see it'd be interesting, even when with your groups, as you're going along, You can even have your group meetings turn on Zoom and see how it comes up. And then there'll be a task bar, Nicolette. So for instance, when you're talking about your group of who has the task, you can specifically say the task for next week is Nicolette. Nicolette, will create, the front page of the website. And someone else say, I'll do social media, whatever you have. And it'll be interesting to see how it is. Okay, everybody with me there? Questions? So everybody got that? Let's incorporate that into it. The other thing that I wanted to share with you is conversational generated AI programs that you can text with it, plus you could have conversations with it, where it will convert your voice to text. You can evaluate those as well. So when I look, let me share my screen. So when I look at something like Bard, which is bard.google.com, I have a mic that I can ask it questions. For instance, can I speak? And you can, in this case, convert to text. And what I can do at this point is I have my mic where it could be listening, where I can ask Bard, I'm speaking, can you speak back to me using a voice? And it's like a Siri in that case. And it can speak in female voices, notice here, and you could even get the responses where you have it in text, where you could copy if you wanted. Bard, please read this. Can you tell me the time? So it can be working just like we have in other ones where it can be listened.
It can speak back to you using a voice. I can use a variety of text-to-speech voices, including both male and female voices in different languages.
So it can do it even in different languages. So there might be in ways in which you can evaluate and incorporate it into your projects. So let's look at some projects here, and I can give you some feedback about it. So before we move on to this, let me go to the what's due section. And what was due today was a draft of the business tech proposal. I didn't see all groups here, which I was disappointed about. But we'll look, maybe it's available now. And now let me make this available on Monday, October 30th, before class. I want you to submit your final business tech project proposal and put it as final. Keep your old one, and then you can submit your new one of what your group decided to do. And then I also would like you to read this generative AI article. And this is, you should have read this one, but if you haven't, read this one first that was due on Monday. And then go ahead for next Monday, read this one as well. This basically is a summary of, and the second one is more in detail, where you'll talk about how does generative AI work and what are the use cases by industry, and also what are the concerns of generative AI. So let's look at let me open up another tab. I'm going to go to the audit area. I'm going to project groups. And I have the project group 3, 4, 5, 6, and I only have 7. So we'll have to talk about those students that haven't submitted. We have to find out why they haven't submitted their projects. And they need to get my permission to do it. So if there's issues on that, we'll look at it. So if I look at, let me start with this one. If I look at group 2, and I see they had a number of different one here, is mental health. This is what I like. And the other ones, you can do the same thing of just an overall, and then they go more in detail included. But the mental health, travel planning, AI assisting medical professionals in healthcare facilities and food court, I personally like idea number 1. And I'll tell you why, and you can then infer whatever ideas you have to what I want to gear you to do. I like the mental health because 1 is you're stressing universities, which you are a part of. When I went into the proposals of it, which was great, the concept I think is good. What problems you're attempting to solve is, whose idea was this?
Sorry.
And who's speaking?
Spencer.
Who?
Spencer.
Okay, good. So what was your idea here?
I pretty much just wanted to create a website where students in universities and schools who are like really stressed have a welcoming and inclusive website where they can share their own experiences with stress, talk to like AI chat boxes, or have conversations with them where AI can essentially mimic therapists, and then also join like videos and video calls
I think
for
it's
like
great. And then
stress
you can,
strategies and all that stuff.
okay, I think this is excellent. So I think what would be good is you could even have a section, and you can jot this down, and have a section where you're reviewing certain chatbots. For instance, one that I like is pi.ai. And you can even look at a number of them, even asking the same problems or the same issues. Take like almost common issues that university students have, and do like little small clips of and reviews of some of the programs and see the differences. Like even do like the Call Annie or BARD or PI, have them sometimes even talk to each other and be inclusive and see which ones work. And then I think it'd be nice is then you could attach it possibly if you need extra help and want to talk to someone, you could give them resources to talk to them. But I think this is great. And I would like to add to you that you can then have a section where each of you, or you could work within your group to evaluate different software. And you could even ask others from your audience to be able to allow you to tell them, look, I found this. And then you could have like groups of depression or groups being lonely or other types of things that you can kind of figure out where it is. This is doable. So if I go back to it, to the project groups, what I like about this is then doable, and it can be divided up in the group, even though you have 5 people in the group and usually you're like 4, even that you could really divide it up, that make sure that each person has it among different generations of reviewing different AIs versus different problems. Make sure you can do recordings. You can make it fun. You can even additionally add additional social media to it. You can even have make it in some ways TikTok, Instagram, others that we can do. Plus, we'll be reviewing that. So I would then basically go into detail about how you'll take make it more detailed of what you're going to do in terms in the beginning, and then you can make changes, of course. But in terms of this of reviewing different chat, conversational, generative AI bots, what are and review them, see what others are dealing with it, and then how do you get feedback from it? So what do you think?
I think that sounds good.
I think it's great. So this group can really, I can see it, once we do it, start evaluating it, and I'm ready to sign off on it, saying this is a great application. And then when I went to group 1, and I see these, it may be, and the final is, who wants, I looked at this, the fantasy football, whose idea was that?
That was mine.
Okay. Have you worked with fantasy football before?
Yeah.
And so I think if you want to do the fantasy football, is maybe have it where you could actually use them rather than is actually think about trying the different chatbots that already exist, from ChatGPT to Bard to Call Annie, and look at finding other conversational generative AI bots, and maybe on a weekly basis, start asking them for predictions. Start involving those chatbots within that fantasy football website. And what's different here is that your action, and then you can see how accurate it is, how to improve it, which ways to improve it, and almost look at that. But along the way, you're learning about those different generative AI bots and reviewing them and asking questions based on the fantasy football and giving examples of it. I think that would be more so than the cooking recipe. And what about fitness? Who did the fitness? Whose idea was to do a fitness?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. So did you think about AI fitting with that?
Yeah.
In what way?
So it would be to generate workouts daily, well, utilizing past information.
So how would it keep the past information?
So basically, the entire idea for it was to do like baseline testing, which would be uploaded into whatever sort of database that AI has access to. So then daily, you would complete the daily workouts and log them so that
okay,
it would continuously build up.
so the issue there is finding, and then you have to look at it, is finding chatbots in those databases that you can actually start filling that up and it can start learning. And
Yeah.
that may be difficult. It may be, I'm taking, seeing if it will, basically the idea here is you wanted to learn and you wanted to store an individual person's.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to have a different workout than you are. Right. And then maybe in a year, you'll be in a different position than I am. So that's the only thing that will we be able to do, is that database part. And will we be able to find apps that will be able to store that for us? So I'm thinking that may be easier than the cooking recipe. I would go for number 1 or number 3. And let's make a decision on that. The AI fitness, it can give me exercises, but where am I going to, maybe we can, where are we going to store that, and how are we going to do the fitness exercises for you and for me may be different, and see if it already exists, those certain chats that I'd like you to find things that already exist and you're implementing it rather than you're starting from scratch. There's no
What
way.
What do you think would be the best way to go about the fantasy football one?
The fantasy football, I'm not familiar with fantasy football, but is it every week that you have to score that? I don't know. You almost have to, you know what I would do really quickly is take some of these chatbots and query them based on the AI fitness and fantasy football and see if they really can help. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Where is it that you as students can create this and it really can help, rather than saying in your mind, we'll do AI? I want it actually to be implemented in some ways. You can, in the mental health, I can see you have the conversations, you have the stress. In the AI fitness, maybe there's generic things that you can do, and then you can maybe go to certain sites. But I want to.
What if we kind of like change the idea to like a fantasy football team manager type thing, and like that AI could be like a conversational like manager for our team?
Where I want something where you can change it, but something where you can use these bots and you can be really, you know, these bots inside and out. And you're using these types of examples as showing your expertise in these bots and seeing where the limitations are and where the strengths are and where the reviews are. Another thing you may want to do is a review. Some of you may want to do reviews of just generative AI bots on a certain topic, you know? But I want you to do that based on that, and then maybe of recordings, or maybe hook that in, have some links where people can, that you're recording, that it makes sense. Because is it based on predictions? I don't know.
That is what it's based on, is predictions. Is that okay?
Yeah, but you have
Yeah,
to check.
okay.
I don't know how much you understand. I don't know how much you can get on predictions, how well it will do predictions. You almost have to test it to see, can it get better as you go along? And in group 3, I see one idea here with a website, invaluable improve healthness and wellness, and another one, AI generated wealth management advisories. Whose idea was this? AI generated wealth management advisory.
That was mine,
Okay, who was speaking?
Gabriel.
Gabriel. I like this. In terms of, I think other people, and let me just tell other groups, no one has, you can use, I don't mind if several groups use the same topic area, because it will be different. So if anybody wants to do AI generated wealth management advisors, other groups can do it. Or if you want to do the fitness, or you want to do the mental health. But I think it would be interesting here that you can review it, giving kind of like set questions for wealth management advisors. And it could be not that you're replacing, you're not going to replace Betterment or Fidelity, but it'll be like an add-on to those that you can say, when you use even Betterment, SoFi, and Fidelity, you can even review what they have and then ask your bots, have like several, you almost have like a battle of the bots, asking certain questions and have them kind of battle it out together. And then later on, I don't even see these as competitors, right? Because you're not for students, you're not going to be a Fidelity, but what you could be is you could be an add-on to a number of these. You almost can think of it as a companion. And it could be, I'm a single advisor that I could be my own wealth management, or you could be a wealth management advisor and you're advising them how to use certain AI bots, or asking certain questions, or what kind of questions do you want to ask the bot and how do you want to store it? And you could then store it, that information, almost make a link to those betterments.
Okay.
Do you understand that? So I'd go with this one. You know, this one, the other one was a website, valuable prediction to help users improve their health. Again, that predictions, I don't know how it's going to predict for my health, you know? What would I have to give it? And how well did this do? Do I have to give it my BMI? Is it a way in which I have to do these? That you can't almost, I can see in anything that you do, you can almost be an add-on to what exists now. Or you can be a review to what exists now. And then have each person, right, in your group, right, of group 3, decide on, look at different bots and conversational bots and figure out what kind of questions would be asked. And then a review of it, and then even give small demos of it, of what it would be like in a wealth management session. And in group 4, so what do we want to do in group 4, Dylan?
Well, at least for the last one,
Mm-hmm.
it would be more like a review of what Microsoft has currently with their Copilot on Excel.
Yeah.
And then, or other ways to implement it into like Google Sheets or numbers too.
Yeah. I would then, the event matching service and the restaurant matching, I think already we have like the Googles and the social media, and even here somebody said Chat GPT. I don't know if that, but these have already been set. And almost here, event matching, there's a lot of Eventbrite or something that can even say, I'm in, Miami, what's happening tonight? Or there's a number of websites, what's going on? I like this one, idea 3, but I would look at it in idea 3 of looking also, see what Google, if there's available some beta even with Google Docs, in Google Sheets and also Excel. What's available, and if you can get their beta versions, see if that's available. And then you could basically, and then maybe what you could do is, even if you couldn't do that, is reach out to some chat bots for your group, Dylan, and even ask some of those chat bots, I want to create, for instance, this is my data, I want to create a pivot table or something like that, to see either Excel, what they have now available. I know Excel, all of the Microsoft suite is having a Copilot with them, but can we get it, their, beta version, to use it somehow in that aspect?
I found the Copilot on it, so I think it's not on the desktop version for my Mac, but it's on the website version.
Okay.
So,
and then you can record it, and then you make it as a tutorial. How to use these Copilots. I could even do that, that it could be a sense of your project could be tutorials on how to use these. You don't know how to use these now, do you, Dylan?
No, I don't.
No, so your whole group, and I'm sure your whole group and the whole class doesn't. So almost creating tutorials on how to do it. You could even make them via Loom or, in Zoom, small little vignettes. How, that could be your website, how to use co-pilots for business. And you could give little business scenarios. Awesome, wouldn't it be? And then you could basically, and if you want to have more, you could even do like Zoom webinars. We're doing a Zoom webinar on a certain way to use any of these co-pilots or PowerPoint, and we'll use it. And in the PowerPoints now they're having intelligent PowerPoints. Use those intelligent PowerPoints for your project. Show how you used it for your project. What do you think?
I like that. Yeah.
I like it. Does everyone understand?
I'm a bit confused, like how we would format our website also.
I would format our website as, for instance, for yours is basically uses of Copilot for Excel even, or for Office. Tips and tricks. We're the consultants. For students from the university, for students have created this as consulting, as tips and tricks. And then later on, it could be if you need additional help, you may, for a certain period, we'll have group sessions that you almost could be tutors. Could be even a way. We have, what you could do, even when you think about it, we're giving you tips and tricks first. Free, right? Everybody you want free first. You don't want to start charging before anybody knows about it, right? And then later on, when it becomes our future plans later on, is what? Is future plans when you come up, give us ideas on what you want us to cover on this. We'll do short videos on it. And later on, we may have, group sessions. First, it'll be free, and then later on, you could charge, like premium version.
Yeah. So trying to shape it as like a consulting firm that specializes.
Consulting firm, but you're basically a consulting firm on co-piloting with. You can either focus on the Excel for business. It's not just Excel, but Excel for business, and everybody knows Excel in your group. And you can even take certain questions that you've had before in certain classes and use like little simple examples. Use simple examples. You can find them all over, and I'm sure Microsoft has a lot that you can take what they have, and then later on you can give it as a part of it. Could be additional resources. You're kind of like the resource center. I see. And then also of consultants, and then later on, and will grow as the products grow. Microsoft they're trying it out too. They don't, all they know is there's such a demand, and they're trying to keep up, right? I'm sure they never expected ChatGPT. They threw that out. They invested in that company, and all of a sudden it blew the whole world's marketplace. And now people are saying, okay, now what do I do with it? And now Microsoft is putting it in, and later on, Google's putting it into their products, right? But even just how to use it. And then later on, it's how do I train my entire company? Just think about the University of Miami. How many of these departments use Excel, right? Who doesn't use Excel? But, like administration, registration, admissions. They have to train all these people now. They don't know it. Even though they say it's simple, everything's simple when you know it, but it's still, how do you get to it? And then later on, they have, Microsoft has something called Microsoft Dynamics, and they're trying to do the same thing. They're putting it in, even Outlook will start being more intelligent. right? Starting to be more automated. It's going to be across their whole line, even their customer contact. So yeah, simple like that. Everybody else is thinking to themselves, they're going to be this grandiose thing. And then and then we kind of think, if we go into the details, I don't know it. Do you understand? It's almost so plain. What I want from the project is something that seems so simple and plain, but so valuable. And it's if that certain area, that certain time frame that we have, right? That nobody knows what's happening. So you're there. As I said before, you go work for some data analytics group, those PhDs in physics, Dylan, you know, are way above you with all their background, right? But if you say, hey, do you know how to use Excel as a co-pilot, they have no clue. And businesses, how do you transition? How do you get your group to transition? And then later on, the group doesn't have to spend those that knew Excel well don't have to spend so much time. And those that never knew all those formulas in Excel and they need to get some data analytics out of it, some charts, you'll show them how easy it is. So it can be for the more sophisticated and even the less sophisticated. And just like with any business, then you see how it grows. But I want everybody to learn now. You know, and if it's that Excel, do it, or if it's those different chatbots, to know the differences between the two. Then but you have some scenario around it. And you may want to go back again, the other groups that I talked about, of looking at that part. Not making it that I'm going to compete with Betterment, I'm going to compete with Fidelity. Of course you're not. I'm not either, right? It took years and years, but you could be an add-on to them. An add-on just for investors. What questions should I ask? Ask those bots to show you what questions you have. So if I go back from those project groups then, right? And that was Dylan and group 5. So who came up, because this is new to me, an AI life coach, personal development coach, personal goal setting. So whose idea is this?
That was my idea.
Okay, so that's Lena?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the same kind of thing, Lena. So how is this
Yeah,
different?
I realized
It's
it was going to be
fine.
kind of out of reach.
What did you
Yeah.
say?
I realize it's going to be kind of like out of reach for like our capabilities.
But you can with this, the same kind of thing of that life coach. I think it's around the same bots. I think it's doable. You understand? In terms of getting everyone in your group, reviewing the different bots that they have, and kind of like breaking it down. Maybe those life coaches, what are the ideas? And maybe you want to, I don't know if you want to surround it with students. You understand? Because you know students of what they want for development, and maybe better. You know what I'm saying? And life, it may be life, it may be even breaking it down to job, you know, there's stress and there's development. What should I do in my job? Help me for my job interview. You can even use those chat bots to help you do a job interview. If their voice, you know, like a call in or others, help you set that up where it's going to help you practice. How can I improve with my job interview using voices?
Yeah.
I would set that up is that life coach personal. I would get with one idea, whether it's like student, whether it's for maybe to get a job or to interview for a job, interview for an internship, interviewing techniques.
Yeah.
And then it could give you, and then you could train it. Then you could even discuss it, then you could train again, see if you've improved. And then you could role play, have everybody in your groups role play with another chatbot, or one chatbot talking to another where you're within your group. One person could be like the interviewer, one person could be the interviewee, and then the chatbot could play both roles. What do you think, Lena?
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Okay. And then you were in group 6. I was looking event planning, travel agent, marketing assistant. Marketing, have AI help business creating marketing plans, what problems, itineraries, event. Who did the marketing idea?
That was me.
Okay, so James, that may be a good idea, and look for James marketing assistants and actually show them and see, do research on how these generative AI programs can help you be a marketing assistant. And give
Yeah.
small scenarios and evaluate some of those generative AIs for marketing assistants.
Yeah.
I think a marketing assistant is easier than a travel agent. That's my thing. You know what I mean? I don't want, who are your competitors when I see Expedia and TripAdvisor? We're not going to be Expedia and TripAdvisor.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because then we need all
Yeah.
the algorithms to find what are the test sites and so forth. And the event planning is who's current event planning companies. That may be it. The question is, who came up with that event planning?
That was me.
Okay, Nicole, that may be event planning, like I'm a wedding planner.
Yeah.
Yeah, you may be able to do something like that. So I would do between the two, decide today, what did you want to do is the event planning and the marketing. You know, see how AI is helping in terms of event planning, you know. Are you interested in event planning and planning a wedding?
Not really. I feel like
Okay, so if you're not interested, I wouldn't do it.
okay.
You know what I mean? Everybody could use a marketing assistant, I think, you know? What's your major?
Business analytics and marketing.
Yeah, then why don't we go with that? And also, why don't you go with evaluating what generative AI, chatbots, and others are available in marketing? And a review of that for other marketers.
Yeah.
Other people that want to get into it, do that. So you already have skills. So when you go for an internship, say, oh, I already know some AI bots that can help me in marketing. If you're not interested in event planning, why in the world, you know, in doing weddings, you know, don't do it. I just don't want you to, you know, you agree with me? Do something that you want.
Yeah.
You know, everybody can do and everybody, even if you're in just data analytics or something, everybody can use marketing for anything. Market yourself. Right? I'd go with that and I'd see what's available for marketing, how you can use these for, and do a review. Ask those ChatGPTs and others giving you ideas. Ask them, pick all of them and ask them together, actually use it for your own dog food. Do you understand? So use it for your own dog food and do the marketing assistance. And then ask them what they think. What software is available? What generative AI? What are the tips you think we can use? And then you could do even a review on that. And rather create an AI platform to create marketing advertisements. Don't even be so, and I wouldn't be so later on then charge 40 for our first 50 customer, raise the price in increments, is first see if there's, make it educational, see if there's a marketplace. And then maybe what you can do is sponsors. You know, some of those software programs that can be their sponsors, or some of those marketing agencies can at first be your sponsors. And then later on we can try. And then you know what you can do is even create some Zoom meetings and invite some of those folks that are doing, almost do a good review, some of those folks that have some of these software, and maybe some of the top marketing agencies, and find out from them, what are they using for AI? Because in all their spreads, also in social media, all those posts, you don't be writing posts all the time. Let the computer start writing posts for you, right? And you have these people then supervising you. Okay, what else am I like that one. I think we need to clarify, okay? And then 7, automated laundry services. An app that utilizes to communicate my schedule and washing machines. Does anybody have washing machines? Who came up with this idea?
Me, Drake.
Drake. Do you have washing machines?
No, I have to use the like the group laundry rooms.
Okay. I would do something, Drake. You understand? You don't always have to be in that business of be different. If you know anybody that owns laundromats?
Nope.
No. So I do something that we could do, but you know what students need? You know what I mean? A more, maybe almost more tangible kind of things. Drake, what's your major?
Business tech and management.
Okay, business tech and management. So I do more of even a way in which looking at some of these tech tools, you know, for management. And that movie recommendation, I think there are also some, you know, aren't there already software that gives me, you know, movie recommendations, and there's AI behind it. So I would take these and more in educating for business, reviewing some of these AI bots, generative AI bots, because this is going to be difficult. I think the laundry services, you know, it'll just be theoretical. We don't have access to any laundry. You know,
There's laundry rooms in every residential building on campus.
okay, yeah, okay. Do you have access to those, the owners of those, or what?
Yeah, it would be HRL.
Okay, can you contact them? And what are you going to be doing? What are you going to suggest that you do? You like this idea?
I would enjoy it if I had it.
If you had it, okay, that's the only thing, if it's going to be available, you know what I mean? Of getting to those guys who make decisions on it.
If you refresh it, I added another idea to this one.
Okay, what is it?
It's an AI interior design app.
Okay, and what's available with that?
I know that there's like apps where you can take a picture of your home,
Right.
or like your floor plan and upload fake furniture, but it's not really like strategically designed stuff. It's more like you can see how things look. So I was thinking something where you input like your preferences and your style, and it can come up with something to create.
You know what I think can be a possibility for all of you, of something that exists and you're reviewing them, or you can put together, you can integrate what is something available, rather than coming up with your own app. It may be you could do a review of something, of what's available, and taking a number of the apps together, you understand, and asking your questions. What do you think? And maybe even asking some of those chatbots, you know, I like an informal setting, you know, I like light colors, you know, I don't want to be formal, and, you know, and I'm living in a 1-bedroom, you know, we're in a studio. How can I decorate? And this is what the studio looks like, and what's already available that you could actually use. Yeah. My only problem with the automated laundry services is who can you get to and who's going to be actually for notifies the customers. I can see it's almost like an app, almost like with my parking, right? If I think about who did the automated laundry services, remind me, whose idea was that?
Drake.
Yeah, Drake. It may be if it's almost like a parking app, right? In a way, you know how they're parking out, they'll tell me which spaces are available.
Right.
It's kind of like that, isn't it?
No, I agree.
Yeah. I just want something that you can gain rather than it's just an idea, that you can gain actual skills from.
Okay.
That you, because of the end product, you know, even though you say, hey, we got, are you living in the dorms?
Yep.
Yeah. So there's all those, those laundromats there, I guess. So that's the question. If you can phrase it, and these, you may want to do 2 projects among a group, you know what I mean? Somebody's really into it, because I don't want people to do it, if it's really of an interest to you, we can talk about it and you can kind of think about it in the design, but I'd like maybe those apps maybe to help you design it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can even ask them, what do I need to do in order to create this? And then comparing the twos before it. But I just think it's kind of limited that not everybody would be interested. That may be a later on project for, you know what I mean, for an idea that you have. Okay,
Right.
any other project groups? So I think I'm missing some people, right? That we can go for. But I want each group, and Drake, you have 5 people there. You could even break it up into 2 parts, Drake, and have one go with design and one go with Taylor, one go with design, and Drake go with the automated laundromats. But I think the laundromat, am I going to get something at the end that you can show, versus I have an idea that I want to do this, I can prototype it maybe, and the closest thing that's available is something like the parking lot. Find me parking. When's the parking available? Where is it? Almost that reservation system. Does something like that exist? Did you do, Drake? Did you do any research on it?
Yes. And someone else had given me the idea a few weeks ago, and I interviewed for it and all that. So I mean, I know there are definitely people who have thought about it.
Okay, but are there apps already? Maybe there's apps already there. Because I've heard students have given me that idea before, I guess because people are thinking about it,
Right, but we'll figure something out.
Yeah, but we got to figure it out soon. You know what I mean? Because I really want to. I'll tell you why. Because I want us to already start, getting into it. Next Wednesday, there's another one that I want you to look at, is called I think I mentioned it. Personal.ai. The CEO of this company is going to come to class and give us an advanced version of this program, which has, in this case, you can see it here. You can download, if you want to look at it, you can download it for Windows, or you continue on the web, or you can go to the App Store to get it. it trains an AI powered version of yourself, where it enhances your connections with AI as you go. So what this does is you give it data, and it can be like your assistant, or it could be for a product that you could train it. If you had like a brand and a product, you could give it all your ideas about your product and train it. And when people came to your website or to this personal AI, people could ask questions about it and they would get proper meanings on it. So basically, you train it itself, and then basically they've created now what they're trying to do is this is kind of like Call Annie. They have this Eve right now. She is just text-based, but she specializes in basically chatting with you. So they're trying something like this. So we'll have it on Wednesday. We'll have a talk on that. So what I'd like to do, let me stop sharing, is for before Monday, it'd be even good by the end of this week for you to submit your final proposal, and that I sign off on it. And the other ideas that other students have, I don't mind if there's more than one. So more than one mental health, more than one looking at Microsoft's co-pilots, more than that. So I'm going to end class early. I'm going to take attendance, of course. And then I want those of you that have not submitted must stay with me after class. So I figure out what's going on there. And those that want to stay with me and say, hey, what do you think about this? I'll work with you on that. Because right now, I think when I was looking at it, right, I only had, how many groups did I have?
7.
What? How many?
7.
Yeah, and we started off with 10, so 3 groups, unless they dropped. And if they're not doing this, they should be dropping, because this is a big portion of your grade. So if you aren't going to do this project, I think drop date is, we still have a couple of weeks here. I suggest you do that. Okay, and then every week I'll be working with the teams. You know, we'll start, one of the things we'll do is once you have it done, you can even think about, I would start even looking at that Wix.com and do the free version first. Try to do like a home page of trying to figure out what you need to present. And each of you can even like do your own website in the beginning, just to kind of play around with it. And then you can have like a one page that's, you know, your team, showing who's in your group, what are their projects, and try to figure it out. You almost have to try to design it. And what I would do is I would use a number of those chatbots to be part of your group. And what's nice here, some of you may even want to incorporate AI in business, and even, you know, show people what you're using, things like Zoom, that there's a smart version now of Zoom with summaries, using the chatbots with those, asking the chatbots, recording. And as you're doing it, recording a lot of these chatbot sessions, so you can actually then play them back and then just record them in small clips, you know, and then you can upload it to your website. You can do other resources, have a resource page where other people are available. And to synthesize it, and that's not easy, is to synthesize what are you trying to, who's your audience, right? And what are you trying to teach them or give services to? But I think we're starting to form it, and I think it's good. You know, I like the idea, you know, of consulting, and don't worry so much about how much you're going to charge. Let's see if somebody comes, you know, and then later on we'll talk about SEO, how search engine optimization, how do we get people to come? How do we advertise? How do we get it viral? But to do something that you're interested in, plus have those skills of those, I think of that generative AI bots, and have a number of them and see the comparison, see what you can do. Marketing, they're using it. They're one of the first ones using it already out of the box. Why? Because they have a lot of text. It works really well with text, and they have a lot of posts to do. I need to come up with catchy titles. It can be creative. Okay, so let's do attendance. Let's do this. I'll expect by the end of the week, everybody to have submitted their final approval of your projects. I'll make little notes to you when I see it, and then we can go on. And then Monday we can already start moving on to the next stages of our projects. We'll end up looking at some analytics, how to do Google Analytics. So again, more and more skills that you have. Okay, so let me just do attendance. Find us, right? Waiting for it to load. Start checking. 9862. And if you weren't, stay with me. If you don't have your projects.
So I have a question for Monday. All we need is a confirmed idea that's approved by you.
Yeah, so I would like you to do it by
Okay.
the end of the week so I can look at it on the weekend and already approve it. You know, if there needs to be any, let's say even try to get it by, you know, Friday, and then this week on the weekend, I'll look at it. And then this way.
Yeah, because I'm in Gabriel's group, and you said the wealth management idea was pretty good.
Yeah,
So
it is. So
we're
you
pretty
just
much
have to
there.
refine it. But the way it was, Pavel, the way it was now, I would rewrite it that it's not going to be your competitor's not a betterment and over, but basically you want to be an add-on to that, and then figure out which, that you could then look at a number of generative AIs and then come up with a set of questions maybe. Who you wanted in this case, who is going to be your audience? Do you want it to be for students investing? Do you want it to be for retirees? Do you want it to be for people that have been working for 5 years, you know?
Okay. All
What
right.
are you
Yeah.
going to focus on? And so let's make it good that you can learn something.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Sounds good.
Okay,
Thank
Pavel,
you.
good. All right. Okay.
I have one question.
Yes. What is your question, Andrew? Are you in a group, Andrew?
So I'm in a group, but I was looking at it earlier, and I guess my personal proposal wasn't uploaded to the group project folder, but now it is. I just want to make sure that
well, if it's not
I didn't
uploaded, there's no way I could review it, right?
Yeah, no, it is uploaded. I just want to make sure that you see that.
Did I go over your group?
No, so yeah, I was in group 1 and it was missing, I was the 4th person, but for some reason, I guess when I uploaded it, it didn't save, but I just did it and double checked that it's saved. So now it's in the group folder.
Okay, so you need to get with your group and decide what your group is going to do. So you have to text with your group now and get it done. Let me just.
Awesome. But
Okay,
I personally won't be like marked late for my personal proposal, right?
well, you should have had it done before 5 o'clock, before 3:30. Why did you do it now? Why should-
No. I did do it, but I put it in the wrong folder by accident.
Okay, well, then you gotta check, you know?
No,
now
but it's
you
in the
have it.
right folder now.
Okay.
It's in the right
so-
folder now. So is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay. It's not perfect, but it's okay. Right? It could be
All
a
right.
good idea that now you know where the right folder is, right? So, but
Yeah.
what you need to
Um,
do, Andrew, is you have to get with your, the other part of the group and figure out when they're meeting again. Have you
Okay.
contacted
And-
them? You don't want to be at the end saying, I didn't know when they were meeting. Right?
Great. And my last question is, for like the actual project, do you have written instructions on what
Yeah,
to
we
do?
will. Yeah, I have but start doing this first and then we'll have specific instructions.
All right, great.
Okay?
Thank you.
Perfect. Bye. You got to get with your group. Okay, what's next?
Can I
Okay,
ask you a quick question too?
yes, Frederick. Who's asking?
There's allowed to be 5 people in a group, right? I just want to double check.
Does it have to be or what?
Well, I'm gonna join a 4-person group and I wanted to
Yeah,
make sure
I'd
that was
rather you
okay.
join a 3-person group. Are there 3 people to a group?
I don't know who's still like waiting.
Well, look at you have the audit area, right? We have the
Yeah,
project. You have it right in front of you. I have it right here. You see it?
yeah.
So Frederick, so if you look here, right? This has 4, this has 5 already too many, right? This has 4, this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this has 5, this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this has 5. So the only thing I can tell you is, Nehru, are you in a group?
I'm not at a group.
You're not in a group either, Yim.
Yeah.
Why not?
My
I
group
forgot
split this
it.
morning and they've kind of been unresponsive. So
Okay, so they kind of, all right, and who else is missing? So Nehru, I guess Nehru's in a group of this. So if that is the case, I have one group that's 4. And do I have another one? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The only thing I can see is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is already 6 is too many. So the only thing that I can suggest is 3.
will I just be able to join Pavel's group because I was texting with him
Okay,
earlier
so
today?
join them now. Okay,
Okay,
so join them now, text them now and tell them that you'd like to join the group.
I will.
Okay.
Thank you.
And
Have a
you-
good
Professor,
weekend.
You're on. Okay, so wait, what's going on? So you
yeah,
didn't,
I'm also not at the project group.
you're not in the group, so you basically, what we need to do, there's 1, 2, 3, is there any more? There's 7 groups and then we got more. So you can, so the only thing is, see if you can join group 1, Way. How'd you
Okay,
do
I
on
can
the
tell you,
test? How did you do on the test, Way?
I think normal.
Okay, so text, in this text, you see this, text then Andrew Watts and tell him that you want to join their group. You see their
Okay, thank you,
name, they have
Professor.
4.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Thank
text
you,
them
Professor. Okay.
now. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Talk to you later.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Bye, Professor.
Stop sharing. Stop recording.